blastmusic247.com. We're changing the industry, one artist at a time.
What's up, my lovely, wonderful people? Wait, hold on. I don't know what I just can't get right today. Just can't get right today. But as I was saying, what's up, lovely people? Welcome back to another episode of Sayless Podcast with Comeiko. So I am back. It's been a long 2 weeks. That first week, your girl's officially half a century. I made it, had a good time. Family came out, my kids flew out. We had a great time. But I'm glad that it is over. Okay? So moving on in life to the next is what I feel like. But being 50, it's really not much of a difference. They say, oh, when you turn 50, you're not going to care, you're not going to dish, and nothing's going to... I already was like that. So all I could say is, what? Is it going to get worse? Because Comeiko has always spoke what she spoke and said what she said. And so other than that, I feel the same. I'm getting back on my health. I slipped off for a minute there, but try to get active and slim some of this jelly off that just contracts to the midsection. But other than that, I'm good. I have a little couple of, I wore my little shirt today. My back and body hurts. Because sometimes it does, Not so much the back. I got back injections, but sometimes the body be aching and you just wake up like, what the hell? Was I in a train wreck in my sleep? Why am I waking up like this? You know what I'm saying? But think about it. Your body been operating and functioning and moving for 50 years. It's tired. And you got to fuel it and get it going or whatever. So that first week I took off to continue to plan our party and do all of that and accommodate family and all of that. Then the second week, our VP took a much needed vacation. Okay. He deserved it. He needed it. So that's why I had repeats going on the last 2 weeks, but I'm back. I'm a little tired because, it's hot out here in Texas. Okay. We're in the hundreds. It's in a way unacceptable, so you step outside for a minute, you just drain, what I'm saying? You come back in or whatever. So got to stay hydrated. I think that's why I feel so tired. I can't see. I don't know where my glasses is. I know VP was laughing at me before we came on because I don't know where the hell I put my glasses and I can't see. I'm having trouble with my vision right now. So yeah, I don't know where I put them. I know I didn't leave them in the office. I don't know. I don't know where my glasses are. I've been searching high and low. I don't even know where my second pair is that I keep for spare. I don't know where they are, but yeah, I need to hydrate. I know that I do. I will. I'm going to start drinking water directly after my drink of the evening. Okay. This is hydration too. This is hydration for the heart. Okay. Communion. It's communion. So today's choice of drink is my lolly, which I've shared before. This is the bold lolly wine. I know it got a lot of sugar in it, but you only live once. You know what I'm saying? So this is the choice. I hope you have a glass in your hand. I had like 2 guests in the past 2 weeks that was supposed to join. It was just conflicts of scheduling and stuff like that. So I know that I had one scheduled, but I told her let's shoot for next week because I like to talk about what we're going to talk about first before we get on here. I am going to talk about. Oh, I can't start you without the motivational quotes. Okay, we got to be positive and motivate each other and fix each other's crowns and stay positive in such a negative world. You know what I mean? We got to do it. So, the quote of the day, the week, the month, the rest of the year, it applies to it all. Okay, is believe in yourself even when no one does. If someone tells you that you can't do it, prove them wrong. Now, see, I got a problem with that last part, okay? Because, for one, it's a horrible feeling, especially the people that are closest to you not to believe in you. Although it's hurtful, it should be motivation. And not motivation to prove, because that last part, I'm not proving nothing to nobody. If I'm proving something, I'm going to prove it to Comeiko. I'm going to prove it to myself. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not doing nothing and grinding real hard and just to prove you wrong. No, I'm going to do it and grind real hard to have a satisfaction for 1,000% believing in myself. Okay. So at the end of the day, we all love that pat on the back. We all, it makes you feel good. It makes you, it makes you feel validated. It's a great feeling and we all deserve it, but sometimes people just don't give you that. And when you don't expect it, I think that you can, you'll get by better because you're not expecting it. It's just those that expect it, you're always butthurt, you know what I'm saying? Because you're looking for validation and from other people instead of you validating your own self. So yeah, I'm kind of dealing with that right now. Closest people to you don't even believe in you, but it motivates me to continue, especially when you're doing everything that you could do or need to do. So yeah, I'm not proving it to nobody, baby. Ain't nobody got time to be proving it to nobody because at the end of the day, what does it matter? I can care less what you think. Okay. Think what you want to think. It's your brain. You know what I mean? So I'm going to talk about renting versus owning. Okay. Because we had a little incident at our party. Now, for the party, I initially wanted an Airbnb. An Airbnb that was big enough to accommodate my kids, when they flew in, and my cousins and everybody else that flew in, that we can be all in one, big old house together. No one had to go anywhere. So that didn't happen because they either wouldn't allow our horses on the property, or if it was anybody outside of the application or the temporary lease or whatever the heck it is, it would have been like $30 a head. Okay, we had like 50, 60 something guests. Okay, so do the math. So no, that's a no. And then we was gonna have it at a venue. I just couldn't see us paying $2,700, not including decorations, for 6-7 hours. Or whatever. So I get tired, since we bought the house, we've always been, them Taylors having a party, and I get tired of having stuff at the house, but I was like, well, what, we might as well transform the backyard into a Western theme. You know what I'm saying? Our backyard is pretty big, and we knew that it would accommodate 3 of the horses and everything else that we had in it. So that's what we did. So prior to I let the neighbors know behind us to the side. I made flyers for them, and my son and my daughter went around and put them in their mailboxes, so they were aware of the party. They were aware of it. Okay. So that was that. They were welcomed. They were invited to come around the corner and come and join. And of course, you always have that one neighbor. So it's a matter of renting versus owning. It's so broad. That topic is so broad. But, so we have like 3 homes over here that are rented. Everybody else in the area here in our cul-de-sac and around us is homeowners. Me personally, it's kind of hard to say because I was a renter before I owned my home. Okay. And even as a renter, I had respect for my neighbors. It's just a common courtesy. Everybody don't have that. And then it's one of those things where do renters think differently than homeowners? And I say yes and no. Because again, I was a renter all of my life up until almost 5 years ago. But I still had the same concept, the same courtesy that I have now that I had renting. However, I know a lot of people who, as renters, don't. No respect for the neighbor, none of that, right? So I came up with the whole temporary address versus permanent behavior, lease life versus a locked-in living. You own the block. That's the topic. You own the house and not the block. That's where my story comes in. You understand what I'm saying? Because you own your house. You don't own the block and control what your neighbors do. And fortunately, we are not in an HOA. Okay. I despise HOAs. I try to keep my clients away from HOAs. But it is a hit and miss because it just depends on who your neighbors are. But we're in a subdivision where we're in phase 1. So all of our homes were built prior to phase 2 and phase 3. Our homes are 1988, 89, 90 homes. Okay. So we have no restrictions, no anything like that. I don't even think Glen Heights has a noise ordinance like most places, 10 o'clock, or whatever. It's really not one. I guess it depends on the amount of people that may complain on you or whatever, because the police was called out to the house, hunty. Okay. They was called out. And my husband cut up. And it was about 1 o'clock. So keys versus contracts. Do homeowners act different than renters? And then the reality, truth, and real difference of home ownership versus renters' energy. There is a difference. But I think that when it comes to respecting your neighbors, there shouldn't be. There's a saying, Section 8 people that have the government vouchers. Again, that's hit and miss, but they're known for tearing up people's properties, being disrespectful, being loud, having no common courtesy. I've seen it. But then there's some people who have the government voucher that treats the home as if it's theirs. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's a really, really, really difficult situation. But my thing is, and if you're watching or you're listening, tell me what you think. If your neighbor tells you in advance that they're having a huge party and it's going to be in the backyard, wouldn't you think that you would prepare yourself for that day and say, okay, they're having a party, so it may be a little bit out of the ordinary, typically out of the ordinary. So I'm going to, just try to deal with it, right? I know for me, I would. Because for one, my neighbor did not have to tell me that the party was going down, but they did. So, thank you. But we told you. And then the neighbor texts my husband, can you please turn the bass down? Well, we had a DJ out there, but the music wasn't even loud. My DJ is a homeowner, so he knows. I think that the mix-up was, my husband is country as hell. How you from Houston, a city, but you country. He's like country, like a black cowboy country. And all he in Waco, there's no comparison, sir. Waco is freaking country, hick, rural. All the acres that the property out there sits on, we be shooting guns out there and everything. We could do that kind of stuff out there. You could do a bonfire. You can do a trail ride on the land. You could play the music however loud you want, because that's the area. It's rural. We're not rural over here. This is the city. So you can't be angry that we got about, at that time, so we had the whole cul-de-sac filled up with motorcycles. So not only was the whole front of the house of the cul-de-sac filled with motorcycles, people revving them up, starting them up, it was about 20, 30 people out in front of the house. Then you still got 20, 30 people still in the backyard at 1:45. So not only is the music playing, you hear laughter, there's talking. So I get it. I understood it. But to call the police, sir, come on now. Now, if it was 2:00, 3:00, okay. But it was already piping down. Like, it was already piping down at that time. People were starting to kind of, go to the front or twinkle off. So I just, I don't know, but I think it was a bit extreme. And then we had words next day because, my family, my cousin was still here. My husband had his friend from Waco down here. And so they were all, I wanted some hot dogs. So the next day I ran and got some hot dogs, some more links, and they put them on a smoker. So the guys was out there in the backyard talking and playing the music. He texts me, and then when you say my name, we got a problem, because the only person to be like, Comeiko, when they address me, is my mama, and she in Inglewood Cemetery. So that rubbed me the wrong way to begin with right there. Can you please have them turn it's a speaker from Walmart, ONN brand. Let's go ahead and put that out there. Okay. Now, was it a little loud? A little bit. And then they talking loud. But again, I was upstairs watching TV too. They was irritating me too, talking loud and being loud. But at the end of the day, I knew it was temporary. So I politely, in my elegant, intelligent, sarcastic, business casual way, I let him have it. And I let him know that at the end of the day, this is temporary. I have family in town. It was embarrassing enough last night for the police to be called. And that I have family in town. And I want my family to enjoy themselves while they're here. This is something that we don't do every day. This was a milestone for both me and my husband. And then he gonna have the nerve to say in the end, I hope you guys enjoyed your birthday. So it's one of those things where, like I told him, we both pay mortgages to enjoy our real estate, right? Because we do. You pay a mortgage, I pay a mortgage to enjoy our real estate. So at the end of the day, we really shouldn't be tiptoeing around because of our neighbors, especially during reasonable hours. So nobody should be, we can't do that because, it shouldn't even be like that, especially when it's something that's not done all of the time. We're not rowdy people. We don't have parties every weekend. We don't do any of that. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just one of them, homeowner and renter or not. You deal with either the complaints or just the rudeness. I don't know. But you would think that if you're around homeowners that you wouldn't really have to, worry about that. So that is what made me talk about home ownership versus renters, because the renters next door to us, they so quiet. Both of them, it's 2 houses. Quiet as a mouse. And then when we do have something, they know they're invited. They don't say nothing. They don't say nothing. They don't call. They don't nothing at all. And they're rent. And then when they do have something, they're considerate. They're very considerate, which is never really, because both of them work, all of them work. But when they do, they are considerate. And they know how to pipe it down when it needs to be piped down and everything else. But then when you got these privileged folks around here, and I'm not going to even get into it like that, retired police officers and stuff behind you, it's just like, wow. So as much as I fussed at my husband because he was ready to go over there and I'm going, I mean, he ain't, well, we got smoke. Boy, sit down somewhere. But I felt that way the next day when he texted me. So now I'm about to have a girls' pool day. It's the Gemini. It's the pettiness. And we're gonna be out there in the pool having a blast. We're gonna have a girls' pool day. Okay, sir? With the Walmart ONN speaker. How about that? So before I go, though, my realtor side is about to be brought out. Renting versus owning. Are you renting? Because if you're renting, we need to get together and sit down and think of a master plan to get you in a position to own. Okay. I helped one of my clients a couple of weeks ago that's renting, want to own. There's a few little things going on with, their credit profile that would hinder them for being approved for a FHA. And so because I know what needs to be done, we found them a rental home. And I said, in these 12 months, we're going to sit down and we are going to figure it out, get everything in line and order. So when this lease ends, we're going to go home shopping. We're going to go and get that pre-approval letter and we're going to hit the ground running, hunting for houses. Okay. So that you can own. Home ownership is the most important. And I'll give you a few reasons why. It's the renting versus owning. So when you're renting, after each rent payment, it's gone. It don't belong to you. It's going to the owner. Even in rental homes, it's some people that has been renting a home for years. You probably have paid them people's house off. And if the house is paid off, 2-3 months of your rent has paid their property taxes for the year. People don't think about that. Money just gone. No ties, investments, no nothing. It's just gone. So that's renting. But if you own, each payment that you build goes towards your wealth and your equity. Right? It does. Benefit. You can't make any changes to the property when you rent. And if you do make any changes to the property, you best believe when it's time to move out, whether it be voluntary or involuntary, because I had a client 2 weeks ago that called, been in their house for 3.5 years, and the owners came and said, you got 30 days because they're selling the house. That happens. But even if you do make changes to the property, right, you better change it back before you move up out of there, because whatever security deposit you had, you're not getting it back. And there's possibly some invoices coming after you for anything that you did change, if the security deposit doesn't cover it, right? But when you own, you have your own freedom to renovate, dream big, all that. Hell, when we first moved in here, I tried to put a mirror up. It wasn't aligned right. I pulled the mirror off and I pulled the damn paint off. And I was like, oh, snap. I just started, oh, snap. Then I thought about it. Girl, that's your house. I have to remind myself. I ain't got to worry about nobody, unless we sell, which we don't plan on selling this property. We might rent it out, but we don't plan on selling it. But even if so, it's my house. It's our house. Like, we can do whatever we want. Dream kitchen flows. If we want to paint the walls pink, black, green, purple, whatever. It's your house. You can do whatever you want to do in it. You don't have to worry about the rental price. Well, the rental prices can go up when a lease renews. We all know that. When they renew the lease, they want to go up on the rent, whatever. But with your mortgage loan, your payments stay the same. They stay the same unless your property taxes or the your homeowner's insurance fluctuates, goes up, because then that's when your mortgage payments will be adjusted a bit to be able to, if you have escrow, if you have an escrow account. That sometimes it happened to us. We went from 18 to 21, in 1 year, and it was only because the homeowners was high. And so escrow needed to pull a little bit more from us to be able to have that money to pay the property taxes and the homeowners insurance and all of that stuff. So, and then when you're paying a mortgage is just not your own when you're renting. And that goes to say what I said before. Y'all hear Hazel? She's in Asaya's room. And she's up there playing around and bumping around. What are you doing? But yes, as I said before, you're paying somebody else's mortgage. You know what I'm saying? You're paying their mortgage. And if their house is paid off, you're paying their property taxes. And then out of the 12 months, you pay what? I would say it just depends on the city and the taxes. But let's just say 3 months of your rent, 4 months of your rent out of 12 months. That pays their property tax. Guess what they doing with the other months? Living their best life. And they own the property. And then when you own a home, you're paying down your mortgage. You see what I'm saying? To get it closer to, because at the end of the day, people say, oh, you really don't own your home. The bank really owns your home. Yeah. Yeah. They loaned you the money. It's just like any other loan. Your car, you don't own your car. You got a car note. The bank loans you the money for the car. But the goal is for you to own it, right? So, and then when you're renting, there's no tax advantages. And when you own, you have tax advantages. That comes in handy. Tax time, sugar, okay? So that's what I got for you. That's it. That's all. We will have the guest on next Tuesday. The topic is being discussed. She wants to talk about some things outside of, this platform is for whatever. That's why I changed it from your realtor and sneakers to Sayless, because I just life be lifing and things be going on. I'm transparent and I just love to get other people's input and how they think about things, and let people just speak, use my platform for their business. Whatever, just have fun, laugh, whatever. So I'm not exactly sure what route she wants to go, but we'll figure it out before next week. But once again, thank you guys who support Blast Media, that support me and all of the other podcasters. Yeah, that's all I got. Because, baby, let me tell you how I'm dehydrated. I know y'all see it. My energy levels is but thank you for joining in. And again, guests are always welcome to join the podcast. If you have any topics, suggestions, I'm always open to them. Just shoot me a message on the Sayless Podcast with Miko Facebook page. And then I have my YouTube page as well, which is where this is being lived on right now. So that's all I got for you guys. You guys enjoy the rest of your week. Have a blessed one. Welcome to July. And I hope that this month brings you closer to your goals and your dreams. So signing out here, guys. Take care. Bye.